Hey, everybody. It's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? We're so glad you're here. Thank you for checking us out tonight. Tonight is November 11th. I just realized that's a great number, 11/11. So it's Tuesday, 11/11/25. A lot of people think that's a great luck day, and I agree. So if you're into numerology, or even if you're not, that's such a cool day. And it's cool for many reasons. Okay. So not only are we coming to you live on location from somewhere in look at this place. It's like paradise. It's like your best dream. You're having a great dream. You had a great day and you end up in this apartment. But I have a very, very special guest tonight. You guys are not going to believe who's on with us tonight. And you're going to really want to be my friends after this. Okay. We have LOUISE SOREL on. Yes, LOUISE SOREL, soap opera fame, movie fame, stage and screen. She just wrote a book, an amazing book. There it is, If There Were No Dogs. And this book is beautiful. We're going to talk about this book. And also LOUISE is doing a show at the United Solo this Saturday, the 15th, November 15th. I'm going to be there. It's at 2:00. If you can't get up in time and go to the show, something is wrong with you. You don't want to miss the show. But in the meantime, before we bring LOUISE on, we want to thank everybody that comes on every week. Now, usually John and Lori do join us. John Pietera and Lori Towers are friends, are the DJs. They're music journalists. They are writers. They're Lori's a publicist, a jewelry designer. They're musicians, but they are in the studio audience tonight. That's why there they are. They're in the studio. They're enjoying a delicious glass of wine. And a friend of LOUISE's, a very handsome, super smart, friend of LOUISE's. He edited her book, and there's a great story that goes with it too. Right. So Peter de Lesavoy, right? Yeah. He is joining. He's in the studio audience as well. We're going to talk about him. So let's acknowledge some of our listeners that come on every week. Danielle Alexandria Alchemy. Happy Tuesday, Maria Leo and What's the Story with Maria crew. Excited for tonight on location show. Danielle is our friend. She's also a psychic, a medium, a spiritual guide, a past life regressionist. She does everything. She talks to the other side. How many of you can say that? I can't. But so Danielle is wonderful. If you want to get in touch with Danielle, it's DanielleAlexandriaAlchemy.com. And I can vouch for Danielle. She's amazing. Ed Kutu, my friend. We went to high school together, me and Ed Kutu. Can you believe it? And Eddie runs Blade Salon in Rocky Hill, Connecticut. If you want to get your hair done, go and see Eddie and his crew. Sebastian has joined us. Hi, Sebastian. And Danielle is here. And then we're going to have more people that will pop on as the night goes on. So what Leo, do you have our, we've been working on a project, Leo and I. There he is. He's zooming in. Okay. So as you know, every year we do the Nothing But the Apron calendar. And this year, I mean, my sister said, only you could get people to take their clothes off for no money. And I always tell them, I did not get anyone to take their clothes off. People came to me. And so what we do every year is we do a calendar. Where I have an apron, of course, because you know I love to cook. That says, What's the Story with Maria? And people will don. They may doff it later, but I have nothing to do with that. But they don this wonderful apron and they take pictures of themselves and they become our calendar people. So right now in 2025, Mr. November is Justice LeBoy, Justice LeBrave, he also goes by. He's an amazing singer-songwriter. There he is with his eggs. He is making something probably for Thanksgiving. I don't know. He lives in Brooklyn. He could be cooking as we speak. But he is Mr. November. Now, do you know who else was Mr. and Mrs. November? Last year or the year before?
2 years.
2 years ago. Lori Towers and John Pietera. They were, and what art direction. They had musical instruments. They had food. They had booze.
Lots of booze.
Lots of booze. And so they were Mr. and Mrs. November. And also Brooklyn. So we've had a couple of, Oh, you know who else is was a Mr. November? Peter Feliciano, and he was a Brooklyn guy. Maybe November belongs to Brooklyn.
Thank
If it's November, it must be Brooklyn, right? That's what I was thinking. So let me see. M. Gray has joined us. Oh my God, people are getting so excited. I'm going to fall out of my chair. I know there's a lot. People are getting very excited. I know Louise is going to pop on soon, and all I can say is, you better all behave yourself. If anyone does not behave, you're out. That's it. You're out. Send you to Brooklyn. I don't know where I'm going to send you, but tonight we are broadcasting live from Louise Sorel's gorgeous apartment. I walked in here and I said, this is where I want to be tonight. Beautiful. And Louise has a gorgeous little puppy. We might hear from him. I don't know. He was barking earlier, but maybe he knows we're live and it may not be time to bark. Okay, so we have a lot of great people coming on, and I hope wherever you're zooming in from, you're enjoying yourself. Making gravy for Sunday. All right, someone's making gravy for Sunday. Excellent. I'm excited for you. I'm glad for just clean up afterwards. That's the thing. All right, so let me just tell you where we're at. So we have been doing this show for about 7 or 8 years now, and it's about creative people. It's watched by creative people. We celebrate creativity in all forms, and we've had so many amazing people zoom in. Now, our guest tonight has also, Andy Prasky's joining. Hi, Andy. Andy, you're going to freak out. You're going to freak out at who we have tonight. Andy he does a lot of documentaries. He's a director. He's just an amazing guy. And I know he's a filmmaker. I know you're going to love our guest tonight. So she has been on with us before. She zoomed in a few years back. And we just thought this was actually Lori and I were talking, and we said this would be a perfect time to have Louise come back. But I wanted to do it even better. Instead of just having her zoom in, I said, let's do an on-location show. So Louise Sorel. Oh, and there's me and Louise. Lori created we've been beamed up. Now, look, that's you, Louise, as Raina on Star Trek. And somehow I've appeared there as the thinnest version of myself I've ever seen. I don't know how Lori did that, but Lori, who needs Manjaro when you have Lori doing your cut and paste? So there I am. And I think that might be, I don't know if that's Shatner or
it is Shatner.
Is it Shatner? He was a lot thinner there too. Yeah. Nobody say anything. But anyway, so that was created by Lori. And why do we show that? Because, okay, so you may be one of these people that's like, Louise Sorel sounds familiar. I think Louise Sorel has been you have seen Louise Sorel on television and in movies and everywhere that your mind has ever gone since you can remember. Louise Sorel is that person, and you say, oh, I know her. Who's that? I know her. Her name is Louise Sorel. The person that you say, I know her, she's been in everything. That's Louise Sorel. And guess who we have on the show tonight? Are you ready, everybody? Drum roll. Louise Sorel, here she is. Hi, Louise.
Hello.
Louise was nice enough to wear a little headphones with me. We're on, thanks to Danielle who told me about the splitter. So we are on location at your beautiful apartment. Now, can I ask, was this all your idea?
Yes.
Okay, so you didn't hire someone to decorate.
Oh no, it's all my madness.
I love that though. I love that you said it's all your madness. Because I always feel that when you're in someone's apartment, unless they have it curated a certain way by someone else, that it is like being in their mind.
Mm-hmm.
So when I stepped in here, I felt automatically, it's very warm, it's very inviting, but it also transports you. Was that your intention?
No, I had no intention.
Okay, love that. That's even better.
I just dragged everything I had in Los Angeles here and then added things because I wanted to be in New York. So I just piled everything I had, plus more things,
Yeah.
into this place, which has no space at all. I mean, it's a little overwhelming. It's
I
like
love, see,
an
but
old
that's, I
antique
love
shop.
that. If you saw my apartment, it's the same thing.
Oh,
It's
good.
a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I have a
stuff,
lot of
A lot of
things.
stuff.
A lot of stuff. Now so from LA, you lived in LA for a long time, right?
Well, I was born and bred there.
That, yep. So that I know, you were born and bred there, but didn't you come to New York when you were 21?
Yes, I left LA, and went to New York to the neighborhood playhouse, got a scholarship there, and then hit Broadway when I was 21.
Right away. I mean, who
Yeah.
hits Broadway at 21?
Not too many.
Louise Sorel does. That's who does. So Louise, what was your first show on Broadway?
It was called Take Her, She's Mine, with Art Carney and Elizabeth Ashley and Phyllis Thaxter, and some really good young actors. And I couldn't believe, I mean, it was unbelievable. George Abbott directed it. Hal Prince directed it, produced it.
Wow.
And I had no idea who any of these people were.
Because you were 21.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So in a way, that's almost better, right? What if
It
you don't
was.
know
I
all
had
that,
no
then you don't
idea.
become overwhelmed.
No, I came from the theater in Los Angeles from a college, City College, neighborhood playhouse. And now I was on Broadway with, I knew that George Abbott was somebody that I should know. Hal Prince, I didn't know who that was. I didn't know who anybody was.
Wow.
Art Carney, of course, I knew.
Of
who he
course,
was.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how great! And the role you played, was it a comic role or was it a serious?
It was
role?
a sort of Betty Davis role. It was,
I love
I had a cigarette holder, and I had a great entrance. It was like, this place is a goddamn nunnery, which was, and I'm in college, so it was a great entrance line for me,
Yeah.
and it got a good laugh. She was.
And so you lived in New York for a while then, right? When you were doing that,
I stayed in New York.
and you stayed in New York.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go from there. You start on Broadway,
Yes.
and do you continue on stage?
Well, what happened is, while I was doing that show, these producers came from England, and my then wonderful agent said, "You have to go and meet these people." So I went and met them, and I thought I'd have to audition or read or something. He just said, "Thank you very much," and I left. And the next thing I know, they showed up at the back door of the show I was on, Take Her, She's Mine. I was called downstairs by this stage manager, and she said, "Louise Sorel, come down." And these 3 or 4 Brits came up and said, "Hello, see you overseas."
That's it. And what does that mean? Where did you
I
end
was
up?
sent, I left Take Her, She's Mine and went to London and did a movie
Wow.
there, directed by Guy Hamilton and Catherine Woodville. There were interesting characters there. Oliver
I can
Reed.
imagine. Had you ever been to England before?
Yes, I had been there.
And I know
Visited
you're
a friend. Yes.
Yeah.
I had been.
So what would you say? I mean, we know that there's differences for sure in theater, in New York and in London. What would you? But you made a movie there.
That was a film. Later, I did a play there. But,
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you say was the biggest? Was it just a culture shock, or was it, since you had already been there? What was the biggest difference?
Well, I was working with a group of mad English actors.
Okay.
I mean, really mad. Oliver Reed topping the bill.
Really?
And
wow.
It was terrifying because they were the kind of, I don't know what you'd call them. They were the Rat Pack, wonderful actors. They were all from all over the place, but they knew each other, and I was the only American.
Wow.
And then Clifford David, who was an American actor, came over to find me, and Eddie Albert was my father. So they came to collect me from there. But meanwhile, I died while I was in the movie.
Oh.
I mean, in the movie,
In
not
the movie, right?
And I had to. Anyway, it was an astonishing experience.
And you still, it still has remained astonishing.
It
After
had
all these years.
because of the fact that not only did I die in it, but I had to sort of be without many clothes.
Oh, okay.
And I was told I had to take off my clothes for this. I didn't know that.
Oh boy.
And so I ended up in, they kindly gave me little covers for my breasts because I had no idea I had to do this. So.
Was it through an agent, or it was just that?
Well, they
Maybe
made a
because you were
deal
so young.
in New York, but then I was flown there.
Yeah, that happened a lot.
It was pretty funny because one of the particular actors in the show, I was lying there sort of, out of it, dead. I'm dead. And I hear him sing, "Getting to know you,
Oh.
getting to know all about you." This is in dead silence on the stage with all these
Yeah, but that's
actors.
very British
Oh my
humor.
God.
Very British
It was,
humor.
it was memorable.
But now when so that's a wild beginning. That's a wild beginning for especially a young person. That's a
Yeah.
wild beginning. But it seems like you were just going with it, right? It's like, here I am, I'm on this ride, and I kind of can't get off right now.
Mm.
But now, how does one go from there? And you did every single, I mean, when I look back and I looked at a reel that Lori sent me, you were in every single every single TV show that I ever watched in the 70s and 80s. I mean, it was like one, even late 60s, right? One after another after another. And so you took off.
Yeah, it was, I didn't even realize how, now I realize, of course, I was very lucky, and I thought I was,
Well, I don't know.
good.
I'm not going to let you get away
Well,
with
no,
that.
I know. I think I was
Because
talented.
lucky is one thing, but you have to have talent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't get that many jobs by being lucky. You get one, you might get two,
Yeah.
but you don't get 80
Well,
from luck. Okay, let's just call it what it is.
well, when I did the film in London, I had already, embarrassing, but I had already gotten a pilot with Woody Allen
That's great.
and a Broadway show with Arthur Penn directing.
That's
So
amazing.
I came back to that. So, I mean, and honest to God,
That's
I just thought
fantastic.
that's what you do. You go from this show, you do that,
Right.
you do this. It never occurred to me until later. And I thought, I'm so lucky.
Well, that's the actor's life. And the thing is, anyone that is in this business, and we know many of our friends and people that aren't our friends, but we know them, that you have to be at this every day. You have to be ready at a moment's notice to get up and go.
Yeah.
You have to be ready to learn lines at the drop of a hat. You have to be ready to change your mood, your clothes, your whatever. You have to be open. You have to be open, and you can't. There's no rigidity involved in having this kind of a life.
Yeah.
Whether you have it or not, you have to go with the flow. And to me, when I look at your career and your life, to me, that is a testament to your being open to the energy of the universe. So maybe there's a little luck involved there in that you might have been at the right place at the right time, as I said before, once or twice. But to me, it's a testament to your being open and very talented.
Oh,
Sorry if you disagree with me, Louise, but I'm going with that answer.
No, it just seemed like that's what you do.
Yeah,
You
I
go
agree.
Do the work and the best you can, and it never occurred. And later on, I said, "Oh my God," because I know so many actors who've been through hell. They're working as and waitresses. They're doing jobs just to survive.
Of course.
And I really appreciate the fact that I got to keep moving on and doing the work.
Yeah, that's great. And you did. Now, so you obviously had an agent that believes in you.
Oh,
that makes a huge difference.
Heaven, she was spectacular.
Isn't that great?
It
makes such a difference.
Yeah, she was spectacular.
And okay, so this is, I think, Gunsmoke, right?
If you say so.
Yeah, I think
I think it's Bonanza.
Oh, right.
Oh, I will tell you a funny thing about.
Oh, look,
that.
Don Rickles. There's Don Rickles.
There's
You were talking about Don before.
Yeah, Don Rickles. I loved him.
Yeah, Bonanza.
I'll just tell you a funny thing about Bonanza.
Of course, anything you want.
Well, I was playing as usual a gypsy because I'm always either gypsy or French or Greek or Jewish.
Yeah.
And so there was a moment where Lauren Green was protecting me because I was a crazy gypsy, and he pulled me close to his breast, which had, as some men, they shave their chest.
Oh, it was
but
like
there were all these little.
And
it was like
no.
ah. It's like, like I got needles in my chest. You meant well.
You meant well. Wow.
I never forgot it.
Of course. How could you forget that?
Oh my God.
So now we know, folks. Stay away from Lauren Green.
No,
I know, but I'm saying, and well, Danielle is a psychic. She might talk to him, but you never know. Don't go near the stubble.
No stubble.
Oh my God. All right. So Bonanza, Leo's been popping up these great pictures. So Bonanza, this is There it is.
Yeah, I
There's
think
Raina.
we put that in the book
Yeah.
as a kind of a joke where I said, "Now, what? Excuse me, what did you say?" But Bill and I had worked together before on a route. I think it was a Route 66, and we were husband and wife.
Okay.
So we sort of knew each other.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Bill always has this look on his face like he's going to burst into laughter.
Oh, really?
And it was how hard we were laughing all the time.
No.
Yeah, I mean, he just, there was something always there in his head that was going on that
Yeah.
made you want to laugh.
That's
So
great,
we
though.
had-
It's
yeah.
great to have partners
Yeah,
like
it
that,
was-
you know, that you work with. And how old are you? And when you did,
Don Rickles?
No.
Oh.
Well, Don, when you did Star
Star
Trek.
Trek? 20?
So
Something?
20s.
Yeah.
Now, I just read, maybe Lori sent it to me,
What?
that you're doing a Star Trek,
Yeah.
Oh,
the
convention.
21st, 22nd, 23rd
Yes.
of November.
Yes.
This is a convention, right?
Bill is showing up for this. Yeah, it's up in Ticonderoga.
And you're going to be there as well.
Uh-huh.
Signing autographs. She will take pictures with you. If you're nice, be nice, because I'll find out about it. So that's going to be a whole convention. So if you're a
We
Trekkie,
do a lot of them.
Yeah.
look for that. Yeah, 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. That was so exciting, I thought, right?
Yeah.
And that show was groundbreaking. There was
It
nothing
was.
else
Oh my
like
God.
it.
I couldn't, well, I will tell you something funny. James, oh my God, what's her name's father? She's a wonderful actress.
We'll think of it in a
He
minute. Don't
played-
worry. We'll come back.
He was
to
the
it.
one who created me on Star Trek. James Daly,
Okay.
Yeah.
Tyne Daly's father.
Tyne
Oh,
Daly.
cool.
And so we just looked around. I mean, it was like we were on Star Trek, but it was all this sort of comic-like atmosphere. Nothing was real.
Of course.
And James had to wear a leotard with tights, and oh my God! And we just said Christmas money, because we were shooting it in December or November, something like that.
Right.
And we thought, what are we doing here? We're both theater people, and it was a really lovely experience,
Right.
but it was.
And actors will understand what that means. That, and if you're not an actor, there are certain jobs that you take, and there are certain things that you do, and you go, "This
What
is
am I
going to pay my phone bill. This is going to, that's what this is. This is
Well,
a
we didn't
cha-ching."
even- They didn't know what this was going to be.
Right.
Oh my God!
Can you imagine?
It was the biggest thing that ever happened in television.
It really was huge. I
Yeah.
remember watching it, and it was like you really believed all that stuff when they were beamed up and they ended up somewhere else. I still think of a lot of those episodes. It's like I think about certain things. And don't we all still say "beam me up, Scotty"?
No, we don't. Do you?
Well, I hear it all the time.
I don't do that. But I will tell you something very funny.
Tell
that
me.
didn't actually happen on the show. I have this dear friend, Francesca James, who's an actress on All My Children, a producer, director. She's brilliant. And she, as a joke for me, gave me a very wonderful birthday party. And she took a segment from that show that I did where I come out and Bill is fighting with James Daly over me, or some kind of sword fight is going on. And I come out and I go, and I look at them and I go, I choose. And I dropped it. Okay? However, she took that sequence and she used her voice, put it in me. This was a birthday party joke. And had the two guys with two friends of ours doing their voices. And she used the actual segment. And I come out and with her voice in me, and I go, we need Jews, lots of Jews. It was just brilliant.
It's
It was
hysterical.
just hilarious.
Yeah, but she knew how to
Oh
do
my
that.
God.
I know. Don't you love friends like
Priceless.
that
Oh,
you've worked
God.
with forever? They know you so
Oh,
well.
yeah. Oh,
And they know, I have friends like that Susie, my best friend in the world. We've worked together for over 33 years, and Lynn Portis.
Yeah.
So let's check on some of our people just to make sure we're not missing anybody.
wow.
There's Andy. So Andy Prasky, what a talent. He knows. So now you do all that, and everybody, you look up Louise Sorel, and she's been in everything that you've watched. So it's like you are the face of our lives, Louise, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of who you are. You see, and you say, Oh, that's her name. I had a crush on her. Every single guy that is watching this is saying that. Oh, I didn't realize that was her name. I had a crush on her. And every single girl that's watching said, I wanted to look like that.
Oh,
That was the girl I wanted to be. So it's wonderful. You know, we got to spend a lot of time with you, and maybe certain people didn't know your name. But then when you hit the soaps, everybody knew,
mm,
right?
mm.
So how do you go from that to the soaps? How did that happen?
That's a good question. I've
Yeah.
never seen a soap. In truth, I'd never seen a soap because I was doing what I was doing. But um, the first one I did, which was Santa Barbara, and I didn't know
Oh,
anything.
that
about
was the
soap.
first
That
one.
was the first one.
Oh, okay.
And I met these rather witty writers, and they hired me. And okay, how could I? We had Dame Judith Anderson
Oh,
as
right.
my mother-in-law,
Right.
Nicholas Coster, theater people,
Wow.
Fred Allen. We were theater.
So
people.
that's Santa Barbara, I'm
So,
thinking, yeah.
And it was very witty. It's still. I was just talking to somebody about Santa Barbara. People are still saying, the wit on that show and the several really wonderful theater actors on it,
Yeah.
and the concern and the writing was so wonderful. We felt like we were doing theater.
I love that.
So that was, for my first soap. I'd never done anything like that. And I realized that you could do really good work.
Of course.
And then I moved on to some others, which were not the same experience.
They were different.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
Santa Barbara.
remember like them describe, like in certain theater classes, in certain acting classes that I took over the years, they would describe, like the way you would approach an audition for different things, for a film, for theater, and it was always a different kind of thing. So you didn't see as many, like you just said, theater actors going into soaps,
No.
But Santa Barbara was one of those.
Santa Barbara was, definitely.
And so I didn't realize Santa Barbara was the first one. That was, I think, 84 to 92.
84. Yeah, I left after 2 years and went to New York and did another one called One Life to Live.
Oh, just that little one. That's some little
Well, I quit.
one. Like that's it. You're out. I quit. I
after
love
a
that.
year. I quit because I had said I have to. If there's no humor, and there wasn't any, so I said I can't do this. So I left.
Were you on that? Well, I saw an interview with you, which I loved. Someone asked. I love all your interviews, by the way. I'm not just saying that to get on your good side, because I think you already like me, so I'm okay. But she's the best.
Oh
But you said that someone asked you about playing a villain, and you said, the way I heard it was, you said you don't play a villain, you just kind of.
Except for somebody that happens to be orange.
Well, we're on the same page on that, my lady.
Okay.
My lady,
Okay.
the same page. But so you did not necessarily play a villain.
No,
You
didn't.
tried to, because you said on this interview, villains don't ever think they're wrong.
No.
They're never realizing they are villains. They're
No.
just being who they are, right?
Well, they have to get what they need.
They have to get what they need. So would you be safe to say that most villains are narcissists?
Oh, to some extent, because they have to have something and they will do anything to get it.
Okay, so of all your roles, because you did play a few villains, not
Yeah.
all, but you did play. It's weird that, because you're such a sweetheart, but it's weird that you were almost most known for your villains, right?
Well, I think it was mostly Days. I wasn't really a villain on Santa Barbara.
Okay, that's true.
I really wasn't. No, I think Days was the one that made that mark, because I did a lot of shows. I mean, I played nuns. I didn't play villains in most
Right.
shows, but on Days, and I'm grateful because it made a mark.
Yeah.
I mean, my first line, I think, on the show was, I shoot somebody, and they say, I shoot and ask questions later.
Right. I saw.
So, I mean, that's kind of horrifying,
right.
but
But it was campy. Like I saw it as campy. Like what you did what you did, but people that watch that are huge fans of your work will see that as like, especially the gay men. Oh my God, you have such a huge following with the gay men, and they see that character as so much fun, like super campy.
Yeah.
So
I
you
hope
know,
it's not too campy because I tried to
no,
make her real.
no,
I
no.
mean, there were lots of different. Actually, at one point, I said to them, "This woman must have some kind of history for the reason she's doing what she's doing.
Right.
People have reasons."
That's the actor
And
in
they
you.
finally, thank God, whoever it was, this was way back, finally wrote a story or a scene really with Deborah Adair, who left the show, but I was working with her, and it was all about her history and what happened to her early on. And she tells the
Interesting.
story. I said, you've got to have some backstory
Yeah.
to these characters. Otherwise,
You're
they're not
right.
interesting.
You're absolutely
So-
right. And once you know the backstory, it explains a lot,
It
right?
does, well, it doesn't explain horrible things that you do.
No, but it
But
explains
I try to find
maybe.
humor in it. as
I
well.
love that, and I love that you said that about the humor. Because if there
Yeah.
is no humor,
No, you have to have humor.
yeah, why would we want to do it? Now, speaking of backstory, your book, your new amazing book, If There Were No Dogs, by Louise Sorel. It is poetry and stories, right?
Yes.
So it says mutterings and musings, right?
Mhm.
I love that. So now there's a great story behind this book, right?
Mhm.
Did you not meet a gentleman who, well, your editor, he happens to be in the studio audience. So, and that is Peter. I want you to tell everybody the story,
It's so
how you
sweet.
met Peter.
I had a friend named Jane Lahr, who's Bert Lahr's daughter,
Okay.
and she's in publishing. And her brother, John Lahr, is also a brilliant writer. So Jane and I had worked together on a book that I'm still trying to do called Madison on Fifth, which is about a little dog on Fifth Avenue. It's a love story.
I love
We
it.
were working on that. COVID came. And anyway, we stayed friends. And then I was talking to her and I said, I'm going to put some writing together because I feel like I should do that. She said, well, you're going to have an editor. I said, nothing came to me. And she said, I'm just going to give you this name. So I called this person named Peter de Lisavoy on the phone, lived very far away. And we did a, what do you call it? A Zoom.
A Zoom, yeah.
And I thought, I can't work like this. He said, I sent him some of my writing and he liked it, which stunned me. And then I said, well, I can't work on a computer or on a phone. I have to be one-on-one.
Right.
So I said,
I agree.
maybe I should come up there? And I think he was in shock. I don't think.
And
people
where was
did that.
there? Come up where?
Lancaster, New Hampshire.
Oh, okay. That's
I
very
really-
nice.
I didn't know where that was.
Oh, yeah, I know where it is. I grew up in Massachusetts. I know right where that is.
Well, I didn't.
Yeah.
So he said, well, all right, I guess you could come up. I think he was sort of like, who is this person? So I flew to Manchester, where the airport, and this man picked me up.
How
very
nice.
gentle soul.
Gentleman.
He said, are you Louise? Yes, I am. He said, oh, and drove me to the Jefferson Inn, which looked like Jefferson just slept in it. Yes, I mean, it really looked
He's a little rustic in New Hampshire.
very rustic.
Yeah.
And
It's
and
cozy.
we were
They call it
greeted,
cozy.
yeah, cozy. And I had a room there, and he said, well, I'll come in the morning and have breakfast, and we'll talk. And I thought, coming back in the morning for breakfast. So anyway, came back for breakfast.
He's a gentleman.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had breakfast, and then
Wasn't
we went,
like the experience in England where they were like,
no.
yeah,
No,
thank
no, no.
God.
So then we said, well, we could work at my house. I thought, ooh, okay. So we worked for 3 and 4 and 5 hours on all my work as he edited pieces that
Oh, wonderful.
what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And we would, get rid of a lot of things. And cheese was always cheese and crackers at the table, very polite. Then he'd drive me back to Jefferson Inn. And the one night we had dinner in Bethlehem.
Oh, I know that. I know
Oh
Bethlehem
my
too.
God, the most lovely
I grew up in New England.
restaurant. Fabulous. And it was just sort of cordial, and I blabbed away as I usually do. And so then,
Well, you're a Leo. Leos
Thank
have
you.
things to say.
thank you.
Leos have things to say. I get it.
So then, anyway, that was the first. Then I came up a second time, Jefferson Inn. And the third time, Jefferson Inn, except there was screaming children overhead.
Wow.
And Peter said, well, you can't stay here. This is ridiculous. You can stay at my house.
Ooh.
So I said, all right.
That's the trick. Listen, get some screaming children
He didn't
upstairs. That's a.
But he was the most opposite of that. There was no
Right.
sensibility of that kind of
I love
lascivious, Nothing. It was
Isn't that
total
nice?
gent.
Yes, wonderful.
Totally. It never even crossed my mind until I was babbling away in the kitchen as we've been working and working and working. Okay. And suddenly I got kissed.
By
And I
Peter, or was it someone
No,
else?
it was Peter.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure.
And
Way to go, Pete.
I couldn't even go. It was, but the thing about the kiss, I don't know. I should be talking.
You
about
can say whatever you want. It's your show.
the kiss was full love.
Oh, it's
I
beautiful.
can't explain that.
I love that. Well, that's what they
It
call.
was
That's
so
what they mean by
instinctive.
chemistry.
It was instinctive, and it was like being even more like hugged.
Yeah,
in a
that's
way
beautiful,
that I
Louise.
don't remember ever having that experience.
And you know what? This is why I love this story. Okay, so first of all, let's go back to the book. Okay, so the editor, Peter Delisavoy, is that correct? Who I just met myself tonight, and he is a beautiful, beautiful guy, lovely human being, and very smart, and spent some time in Massachusetts, where I grew up. And so what I love about this is here you are, this actress since you were 21 on stage. I'm sure you've had lots of leading men, right? And you've had, you've acted through love scenes, and you've acted through romantic scenes.
Yeah.
And you get kissed by this lovely gentleman that is editing your book, and that's where you find love.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that story. That is a story within a story. Right? Is that beautiful? Now, this Saturday, we have plenty of time, but this Saturday, which is the 15th, I believe, at 2:00, Louise is going to be at the United Solo. Thank you, Leo. Is this amazing? Leo's the best. United Solo, doing her one-woman show. It's like an hour and a half, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what I was talking to Lori, who is your publicist and my friend and your friend, and she explained that it's also, you'll be answering questions. So you break the fourth wall in this show.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is so intriguing to me, even if I didn't know you as a studio person in the audience, that is very intriguing. So if you have the good fortune of making it to the show, which you should make it. That's all. Just put some stuff aside. At 2:00, I'm going to be there. 2:00 this Saturday, the 15th. United Solo is on 42nd Street, and I believe it's right off of 9th Avenue. So if you're on 9th Avenue, coming uptown, you take a left. If you're coming from downtown, just cross the street, and it's right there. And they're great spaces. And Louise is going to be there doing her show, but she's also going to be answering questions.
Mm-hmm.
And these are not questions that are, people can ask what they like. You better be polite, because I will find you if you're not. But so this is going to be, it's really an experience. I think you can call it a show, but it's like the Louise Sorel experience, I would say. And so please, folks, I hope I see you there this Saturday at 2:00. And so okay, I know one of the stories in the book that I would love you to share with us.
Which one?
And that was now everybody has a story about where were you when JFK was shot. Everybody that was alive in that time, including me. And you had a very distinctive story. So would you mind telling us that story?
No.
Okay. So go ahead, Louise.
Well, we were doing a play called Man and Boy. I was with Charles Boyer. We did it in London. And then I came back here with the British cast. And across the street was Barefoot in the Park.
Mm.
And we were at the Brooks Atkinson, which is gone now, unfortunately. Anyway, so it was 1963.
Mm-hmm.
And we did the matinee. And as I walked out of the theater, I lived on 46th in Hell's Kitchen. There was a radio always on at the newsstand on 40. We were at 47, so 46th Street on the corner of 9th Avenue, or 8th Avenue. And I hear Kennedy is shot. President Kennedy is shot. I mean, we it was blasted, and nobody could take it. And I saw people falling in the street,
Wow.
literally sobbing, screaming. And I went home. You go into, you don't even understand what you've heard. I
Right.
went home, and I remember going into my apartment. It was called Clinton Court. It's still there, and throwing a radio across the room. I didn't know how to get it out.
Right,
I couldn't
right.
get it. I couldn't get it. And then we had an evening performance.
Oh boy.
And some shows couldn't shut down fast enough. We couldn't go dark.
Wow.
So we had to do the show. And the play was about a man, Antonescu, who dies from a gunshot.
No.
And none of us, we just were shattered. So Boyer, I had a scene with him on a couch, and I was shaking. I couldn't get it together. And this man was just extraordinary. And we become sort of friends. But he saw my face, and we were sitting like we are.
Right.
And he took my hand and held it so tight and looked into my eyes and held me so that I wouldn't shake.
Oh, that's beautiful. I'm
and
sad
that's how I
and
got
beautiful.
to the scene with him.
Wow.
It was.
Now you were 23.
Yeah.
You were young.
Yeah.
So to have that kind of experience, they can't shut down quick enough. I mean, historically speaking, that was a day that every single person remembers, right?
Yeah.
And to have that experience where you can't shut down, you have all this fear, rage, disbelief. You're probably in shock, and you still have to go through. And did the audience know what had happened?
Oh, of course. I mean, it was very tough. I mean, half the audience, it was half empty.
Right.
And across the street was Barefoot with Bob Redford and Elizabeth Ashley, and then Herb Edelman playing the telephone man. They're doing a comedy across the street.
Wow.
Do you think there was any laughter?
Wow.
No, it was tough.
Well, and that story is in the book.
It is.
It's wow. Is there another story? I mean, there's many, many, many stories. But is there something else that sticks out that you want to tell us about? I mean, personally, I'm going to show you the book again. So where can they get this book? You can get it on Amazon. You can get it anywhere that books are available. Book Baby. And I ordered mine already. So I get it on the November 18th. They're making me wait that long. Can you believe that? I was like, I know Louise Sorel, get it together. But anyway, I still have to wait. So that goes to show you how many books are selling. So please go and get, and what's great about this book, many things, but it's not like it's like every story packs a punch. It's beautifully written, and then you can digest it and move on to the next story. And that's why I like its mutterings and musings. Musings and mutterings. Yeah.
Yeah, there's one there it's the title of the book, If There Were No Dogs. And you love dogs, right?
I love dogs.
Have you read that poem?
No, you want to read it?
I would read that for you. It's not long. It's
whatever you want, Louise. We have time.
I'll read that one.
We got another 14 minutes. It's your show.
Do this really
Do anything
quickly.
you
I
want
can
with
only
it.
read. I can't even see. Where are my glasses?
You want to borrow mine? They're progressives.
I don't know.
See the bottom part.
Good.
Look at that.
Okay, I think I can do that. If there were no dogs, my heart would break. The morning sun would dim. The smiling faces grow grim. If there were no dogs, an empty dish would cry. My tears would never dry. The world would wonder why. If there were no dogs, doorbells would ring empty. Footsteps would sound harsh. Fire hydrants would be empty. Leashes left in marsh if there were no dogs.
It's beautiful. And you know what? If you've ever had a dog or loved a dog, sometimes you don't have a dog, but you love someone else's dog. You get that. Kind of, yeah. Ugh, that gave me chills. That was beautiful. So it's moments like that you're going to get in this book. My cousin Rena from Massachusetts is jumping in late. We'll go back and watch it from the beginning late. Rena, you're going to love this. We used to I'm going to send you something. Everything that Louise has been in, we've seen. Trust me. So now, Louise, what I always people go, why now? You know, when they say why now of all that. But was it something that were you always a writer? Did you keep a journal? Were you someone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You're
was
looking
just
at Peter. You were
talking,
just looking at Peter. Tell
because
me
we
why.
had a conversation about this. I never thought I was a writer, but from very early on, because I had so much going on in me, I had to write it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I was vomiting up.
Mhm.
I didn't have a lot of communications at home, and so I gathered a lot of my memories, and I started writing events that occurred. Like, just I went to England, I went to Italy, I wrote blah 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 blah, and then all the emotional stuff that I couldn't get out, I just needed to put it down. So I didn't think of myself as a writer. I just was writing memories down.
I love that.
And then poems started. I don't know where they came from, but
I believe that poems are
visually,
channeled.
I'm very visual, so I see things on the street, or I have an experience, and I think, and I
Yeah.
have to express it.
Yeah, I love that.
But I never thought that I was a writer. I was just doing what I had to do.
I love that. And Peter, as your editor, did you feel what was because you obviously did become close because of that experience, and what was the best way to say that? Which way did Peter help you in the best way as a writer?
Well, we would sit and go through a lot of the material, and he'd say, do you think this is important?
Mm.
This something you feel? Or I get the feeling that he knew that there was so much stuff.
Right.
That we would just plow through writing, and he would sort of say, and then he somehow knew how to put it in an order that made sense, because
Right.
it's not kind of like a long story, it's little pieces, and they seem to come together at the right place, like early childhood pieces,
Mhm.
and then poems. So when you turn the page, you never know what you're going to find.
Oh, okay.
So you can
So
put
it's
the
not
book down.
necessarily in a chronological
Not
order.
at all.
I love
Except
that.
the early part about childhood was, I think.
Well, that's
But-
the muttering.
Yeah.
I love that.
But you can just put it down and then pick it up and read another thing and put it down.
But you know what else I love about that?
What?
It's real life.
It is.
Like you could be in the laundry room and something will evoke a memory from when you were 4 or a smell.
Yeah.
And then the next day you're thinking about the future and something that you might be nervous about.
Right.
So
all
that
over the
is
place.
organically how we operate as humans,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
And as an artist, you've had all kinds of experiences, right? Where you've had to take things in and experience them, and then your interpretation of them. So again, I just want to show you the book one more time because we're coming close. We have about 10 minutes left, but so this is Louise's book. Please get it. Christmas is right around the corner. What a wonderful gift to give someone. I would love to get this book. I mean, I ordered one already. So don't if you want to get me one, then you can get me one too. But this is a beautiful gift for someone. And then if you are in town, please make it to United Solo. Now, okay, great. And there are already reviews and stuff. Leo was hiding in the background like a little mouse tonight. Right here. It's so quiet. Maybe there's a reason. But Leo, I know, is a huge Louise Sorel fan, right? And especially the soap stuff. Leo, maybe we can't get him tonight. Maybe he's doing stuff back there. But so I'll ask for the soap people. What did you also put soap stories in here too, or no?
No.
Okay, you don't have to because this is other things. But can you tell us? Is there a story you can tell us about? It's either something really fun, really whatever, something that stuck out of all the years that you did soaps. Something you were like, what's a great story?
There are a couple of funny ones.
I bet.
So
we're all ears.
I'm going to be a little difficult when I'm working because I try to make everything as best as I can make it. So there were 2 stories. Oh my God. One of them was on Days of Our Lives.
Okay.
Where, they wrote wonderful. I mean, I'm grateful because they gave me a lot of wonderful stuff.
Right.
But there was some story where I was like a hyperthyroid Heidi. Don't ask me why. And Robert Mandan, his lovely actor, was in it on a couch, and I was supposed to be like I had a sheep. And I was, what's her name of the sheep?
Or Little Bo Peep?
Little Bo Peep. I was hyperthyroid Little Bo Peep. And I said, are you serious? And they said, yes. And I had like braids, literally the whole outfit.
I think I saw that episode.
And
I'm
they
not
said-
joking. I think
And
I
I
saw
said, so I have a sheep? He said, yeah. I said, well, then I'm going to have a sheep. And they said, what? I said, you're not going to put me with stuffed, stupid thing. I want a sheep. So they said, okay. So on this very lavish set with very expensive Chinese carpets and rentals and things, they got a sheep.
They got a
The
sheep
sheep
for
thought, what
Louise.
the hell am I doing here? Came out with a sheep, and guess what the sheep did? He looked around and went, oh my God, and let it go.
No.
Oh, yeah. And it was mortified because I had insisted on the sheep.
On the sheep.
Yeah. And he just went and just opened his legs.
Poor thing.
It was on a very expensive rental. Chinese.
That's not on film. I mean,
No, well, they had to stop.
they had to stop.
And they cleaned it up. And
Wow.
it cost them, it's one of those.
And someone in the back was probably like, Louise,
Oh, yeah.
damn,
Yeah,
Louise,
yeah,
they're
yeah.
out under the sheet.
That's
Come in here and clean this up.
That's it.
Oh, my
The
God.
broom.
Wow.
And then the
You
other,
insist. I believe I saw that episode. I'm not joking.
well, you wouldn't have known that what it actually.
No, I don't know what happened there, but I do remember the sheep, and I remember your costume, your outfit. I do remember that.
What was the outfit?
It was Bo Peep.
It was Little Bo Peep, yeah. So little,
Large hyperthyroid Bo Peep.
wow.
But-
Listen, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, right? You get, hey,
Yeah.
Christmas money, Louise.
Oh,
Christmas money.
That's what James
That's
Davis.
it.
Yeah, and there was another episode on Santa Barbara, which I feel okay to tell because I told it in front of the people who wrote it.
Okay.
They wrote a scene where I wasn't really villainous on the show, but I had a daughter and she had a little pet pigeon. And there's a scene that they wrote where I'm serving hors d'oeuvres to the
No.
family. And my daughter, you see me upstairs petting the pigeon in my daughter's room and everything. So we know that my daughter has a pigeon. Oh, I'm sitting down and I'm serving hors d'oeuvres, and my husband, Nick, is saying, oh, this is very good. What is it, rabbit? No. And then Dame Judith says, well, what is it? Whatever she said. And I mean, there were 3 or 4 people in the room, and I kept saying, no. And then my daughter, her eyes get like sausages. Is it pigeon?
Oh,
And well, that's what they wrote.
right.
I'm serving her pet pigeon.
Oh my
So
God.
I went to the producers of the show, and God bless her, she's gone, Bridget. They were so talented,
Yeah.
but they wrote these things. And I said, I can't do that.
Good for you.
She said, what do you mean I can't do it? That's what we wrote. I said, I'm going to call the ASPCA. I said, what? Big red. I said, you can't do this.
Good for you,
This is
Louise.
outrageous. I'm not a woman who would kill my daughter's pet pigeon.
Right.
Well,
I
I,
love
didn't
that.
win the story
Oh,
because
no.
we did the scene. The only thing that changed was I just refused to answer when she said, is it my pet? Which made it even worse, quite frankly.
Wow.
The fact that I didn't say anything. And she went screaming out of the room. But I fought. I tried.
Wow. That's a great backstory. That is a great
tell-
backstory.
I did tell that story in front of, God bless him, Jerry Dobson, who was the writer with his wife, Bridget.
Yeah.
And she's gone now. And they were very creative and witty. They wrote stuff for us that was golden. Nikki Coster, I went blind. Well, I didn't really. Retina disconnect. Supposedly I'm blind. And Nikki says, I'm taking you to the Hearst Castle, Augusta. Well, what they did is they put a ladder on the stage. They pull the cameras back so that the audience watching would see all this. And I climb up these stairs, and he said, all right, Augusta, we're in the plane now. And I'm blind.
Oh.
So he said, we're taking off, and then there's an engine sound, and we're here. We're at the Hearst Castle. By this time, I've actually gotten my sight back, but I don't tell him. And then we walk into the Hearst Castle. I mean, and then there was a fake fireplace, big, just a space like that, with a guy behind it blowing.
No.
And Nikki says, how about that? Augusta, a nice warm fire for you. But I see what the guy's doing. And I don't say anything. And the audience sees this.
Oh my God.
It was so wonderfully funny and witty and mad. That's the kind of stuff that's great. You know.
I love that.
Yeah, we had
These are wonderful, wonderful stories. So we are coming to the end of our show. Oh my God, this hour's flown by. Leo, can you join us, honey? I don't know what happened to Leo, but anyway, there's 2 minutes left. I always ask my guest this question. Most of the people that watch our show are creative in some way. And I always ask our guest, if you could leave people with anything to inspire them to continue to be creative, even on days where, especially like what's happening in the world right now. I know for me, sometimes I don't feel like doing anything, right? But I get up and I keep going, and I always feel better after I do, right? So you are someone that's been doing what you've been doing since you were a young girl. So what would you say to people that are struggling right now with their creativity or their energy being blocked?
Well, Peter and I were talking about that. I want to tell people to don't stop, because it's necessary, and it's hard. It doesn't mean it's easy. It doesn't mean that you always win, but it's with everything that's, first of all, we don't want to get into all the politics.
We don't need to.
It is dampening everybody's soul, and I think the only thing I think of is to take care of everything around you. And I have a thing about animals, for one thing, but it's you just have to be kind, and anything that you can do that puts positivity back into the atmosphere, because what else can we do? I mean, we get into the politics and I say, I'll take a gun,
Right.
But I won't.
Right.
But I feel like you have to just. Peter's always saying to me, "All's well," and I always say, "No, it's not." But I understand that kind of attitude. It's kind of like to stay above it.
Yeah.
Even though we're in it.
Yeah.
And I don't know the answers to any of that, except that taking care of people, taking care of each other.
And animals. Of course, we love our animals, right? Are you someone that goes for walks to get out of your head? Or
walking is really helpful.
I think so too. Now, we didn't talk about this, but we did talk about before the show. You collect marionettes. I mean,
I did.
You did, and these are marionettes that you got in France.
Yes. Yeah.
And some of them took over like a year to build, right?
Well, they must have, because when you look at the details in them, I mean, you've got one here, but they are they're extraordinary. They're layers and layers. There's nothing kind of like, it's not superficial. If you look under each article, there's more clothing underneath. There's more detail.
And that's someone else's art. That's not art that you do. So what is it about having that kind of art around you that moves you?
Well, I think it's you feel certainly the people who've created the art. It's always with you. I mean, I can look at any of them, or I have so much stuff here.
I love it.
But I just feel the energy behind all the work. It fills you up.
I
agree.
Mean,
I know most people don't live like, most people live in very barren, kind of clean.
The kids call it minimalist.
Minimalist.
But I'm like you. I'm a collector.
Yeah.
I'm a collector. And I agree about pieces of art and energy. And you can't beat that. You feel someone's energy in a piece of art. And I agree with you. And okay, so Leo, I don't know if you're there, honey, but maybe something with your computer. But there you are. Okay.
Yeah.
So Leo, did you want to ask? I know you're a big soap fan. Before we sign off, did you want to say anything to Louise or ask Louise anything?
No, but I can understand what she said earlier about One Life to Live not being fun. Those scenes, and from what I understand on the work ethic that they all had. It was go, 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 and they weren't really, they weren't really funny on One Life to Live. Maybe Erica Slezak had some here and there, but it wasn't really a comedy show for the most part.
Right.
They were all over the. Oh yeah, and she was working with Mitch Gaylord.
See, he knows
trying
all
to
the.
defend him. Yeah, you were
Yeah.
Mitch Gaylord's lawyer, right? And there was, oh honey, poor you. There was no way defending that man.
No way to defend them.
I don't even remember that
see,
name, quite honestly.
It's Leo is the
Lawyer.
keeper. He is the keeper of records.
Oh my
Trust me.
God.
So he's
Amazing.
amazing that you remember that. So we are going to sign off. I want to thank everybody that joined us tonight. Leo, I don't know what I'd do without you. So Leo runs all the behind the scenes.
Thank you, Leo.
Isn't he
Of
magnificent?
course. Thank you for coming on and blessing us.
I know. How cool is it that we got to hang out with Louise? And thank
Like
you to
twice.
Lori
I'm like,
Towers and who brought us together. And thank you to John
Lori Towers
Pietera.
and John.
Tomorrow night, Leo, tell us how we can find Lori and John tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, if you go to wfmu.org and go into Sheena's Jungle Room and then go to Beneath the Underground, you can hear Lori harassed. I mean, you can hear John and Lori have a good time showing us all great music, the downtown underground sound. And Lori likes to call it a dinner party because we all get together and we chat and such. Although I'm going to listen to it on archives because tomorrow night is our final week for Cabaret, and
I love it.
So
Maybe next week you can tell us about that, okay? And take some
Yeah.
pictures and let us know Leo's been teaching a cabaret class. So thank you, sweetheart, for everything you do behind the scenes. Thank you to Peter, for your beautiful work on this book. And so you will see Peter's work in this book as well, because we know that editors are vital to beautiful art. And so thank you for your great work. And thank you to Woofy, who's been so quiet and good tonight.
Woof, woof.
And Louise, I love you.
I
I
love
think
you
you're
too.
beautiful and wonderful. And thank you for everything. What a wonderful night we had. Everybody, remember to be kind to each other, as Louise said, and do something good in the world. Let's distract ourselves from things that are happening, because I truly believe in my heart that this too shall pass.
Mhm.
And the more love we put out there, the more we overwhelm the darkness. So let's get to overwhelm, okay?
Yeah.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week. Remember, we love and appreciate you.